It's game time. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you all. Let's see. Hmm? Hold on. There we go. Uh, hmm. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you all again. Yeah. I think today. Yeah, I think today I'm just gonna talk about some news. I don't know. I might get into. Okay, so today we have some interesting news stories for you. What was it? The one obviously pertaining to the title of the video, the title of the stream, which is of course, the future of Ruben Amorim. Now, I will admit, I legitimately thought Ruben Amorim's time was coming to an end, but according to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it is not, at least not for like a couple more years. So yeah, if you're if you're not a Manchester United fan, you can rejoice, and if you are a Manchester United fan, haha. No, but seriously, it's if I'm being on, you know what? No, I'll save this until I get into the actual story. The other stories I have for tonight are what was it, relating to Malaysia's Malaysia, which has a bit of a, how should I say it, naturalization scandal going on right now, involving multiple players playing for their national teams, apparently forging documents about their ancestry in order to be able to play for Malaysia. Yes, and yes, that's something that happens. That's something that happens every once in a while in international soccer. But this is a this is a particularly big one. A lot of members of the Malaysian national team have turned out to not actually be Malaysian. So yeah, this is a big story right now. And then of course, then I have a story. That's not exactly news, but I thought was interesting because it's talking about what was it, Leicester City's famous Premier League win all the way back in 2016. Uh, yes, that was in 2016. It happened that long ago. Just talking about their rise and their eventual fall, and if a team like that could ever rise again. But enough. What was it? Yeah, I've talked enough. I should just get into the stories now. Uh, let's see. There we go. Okay, starting off with the story that the stream is named after. uh, Ruben, this is by Sky Sports. Hold on. I can't actually find an author for this one. Yeah, I don't know who wrote this. It just, I just know it's from Sky Sports. Okay. Yeah, I guess if you know who the author for this article is, credit, I guess say it, because I can't find it. But whatever. Ruben Amorim. Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants to give under pressure Manchester United head coach 3 years to prove himself. Yes, that is right. What was it? We Manchester United fans can look forward to 3 more years of Amorim. Yay! Yeah. I don't know, but in all seriousness, I can understand not wanting to sack him after like, one season. But like, I don't know. I feel like the problems at Manchester United run deeper than just the manager. I feel like it goes. I feel like any changes that need to be made. All right, Manchester United has gone through like I believe about like 8 to 10 managers since Sir Alex Ferguson left, which was over a decade ago at this point, more than 10 years. So it's like I don't think the manager is really the problem. And I feel like a lot of the players aren't even the problem. I feel like the players at the problems at Manchester United run far deeper than just the, on the pitch and, side of the pitch guys. I feel like any changes that need to be made at Manchester United should start at ownership and go down. But that's obviously not going to happen, so I really don't know how Manchester United gets themselves out of, the situation they're in. But whatever. I'll talk about that more as we go on. So yes. Now let's get into this. Man United head coach Ruben Amorim is under pressure after a mixed start to the season, followed last term's 15th place finish. Yeah, oh crap. Wasn't that their lowest finish since like the beginning of the Premier League? I'm not too sure about it, but I could have sworn I read somewhere that last season was like their lowest finish in the Premier League ever. But I'm not sure. I have to look it up. All right. Man United's minority owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, has given him a huge vote of support. Ruben needs to demonstrate he is a great coach over 3 years. I mean, like I said, what was it? I mean, Amorim was doing fine in Portugal. I don't think he just... I don't know. The fact that he could just suddenly go to Manchester and suddenly be like this awful coach, I feel like there's something else going on that runs deeper than him. So it's like... I don't know. I think the amount of coach turnover Manchester United has had is definitely a problem, but I also don't think giving Amorim 3 years is necessarily going to solve it. Like I said before, Manchester United's problems, they go all the way to the top, man. I don't know how they get out of this. Yep. Manchester United minority owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said he wants to give under-pressure head coach Ruben Amorim 3 years in the job to prove himself. Amorim is approaching the first anniversary of his appointment at Old Trafford, but his position has been under constant scrutiny since he took over on November 1st of last year. Oh wow. It's really been a full year since Amorim took over at United. Time really flies. I can remember I can remember it like it was yesterday, freaking Manchester United fans going crazy like, "Oh, we signed the best manager in Portugal. We signed the next big manager. He's totally going to turn everything around." Just like they did for Ten Hag, and then it's like, nah, you're arguably doing worse than you were doing before. True. But that's how it is. All right. He has failed to record back-to-back Premier League wins during that time. Back-to-back Premier League wins. Does that mean winning the Premier League, or does that mean he hasn't won like 2 games in a row? I don't know. Wait, I wouldn't be surprised if, Man United under Amorim has failed to win 2 games in a row. I really wouldn't be surprised by that. But I'm not sure if that's what they mean here. I'd have to look back at their win-loss record to see if that's true. They're worse. I was right. What I said. Coming 15th last season. Their worst top-flight finish since 1974. Crap. Okay, this is 1974. Some of you might not know. That's before the Premier League was formed. That was back when the top-flight league in England was League One. 15th place wasn't just their worst finish in the Premier League era. It was their worst finish since the 70s, the mid 70s. That is insane. God damn. Ah, man. And things have not improved much since the summer, as United were knocked out of the Carabao Cup by League Two Grimsby in August. Yeah. I remember when that happened. That was crazy. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, there was it. They lost on penalties for that, I think. Ooh. People online are having a freaking field day. That clip of, what was it, the Grimsby Town guy scoring that last penalty was everywhere for a while. God damn. That has led to suggestions Emery's job is under threat. But Ratcliffe said the 40-year-old is a good guy and has time to turn things around. Ruben needs to demonstrate he is a great coach over 3 years, he told the business podcast produced by The Times and The Sunday Times. Asked if Amorim is going to get 3 years, Ratcliffe replied, "Yes, that is where I would be. 3 years, because football is not overnight. It's 3 years. You also look at Mikel Arteta, or yeah, Mikel Arteta, at Arsenal. He had a miserable time over the first couple of years. I mean, he's not exactly having a great time now." Yeah. We have to be patient. We have a long-term plan. It isn't a light switch. You can't run a club like Manchester United on knee-jerk reactions to some journalist who goes off on one every week. I mean, yeah, there is a good there's a point to be made there. There is a point to how journalists kind of just what was it? Kind of just go off like reactions and try to get big reactions. And what was it? Try to stir knee-jerk reactions, like he says. What was it? Just kind of trying to sensationalize things. I feel like that's the word I'm looking for. Being a bit sensationalist and sort of missing the forest for the trees. Or, what was it? Making points that might not necessarily, be right or make sense. Yeah. What if the Glazers want Amorim out? All right, yeah, this is kind of this is kind of something that kind of what if the Glazers want Amorim out? Ratcliffe has owned just under 30% of United through his chemicals company Ineos since February of 2024, taking over control of football operations at the club. This was something that kind of confused me when I first read about it, when Radcliffe took over, a while back. What was it? So, he's only a minority shareholder, but he's essentially running the club now. He's he's essentially kind of treated like he's the owner in every way except actually owning it. So the Glazers are still making money off of Manchester United, but they've just kind of given away the burden of actually running it to this guy. God damn. The Glazers the Glazers really are geniuses. They're awful, awful football club owners, but they're geniuses. Because this is just an amazing setup for them. It is just ingenious, honestly. Crap. That still left the Glazer family, who have been the subject of numerous fan protests over their handling of the club since taking over in 2005, in overall charge. Damn, what was it? They took over in 2005, man. That was 20 years ago the Glazers took over at this point. God damn. I was only 2 years old when the Glazers took over. Manchester United. Man, don't that make you feel old? I bet it does. Freaking hag. Damn. Asked what would happen if the Glazers told him to sack Amorim, Ratcliffe said, "It's not going to happen." So wait. the Glazers are still the majority share owners. So, does Ratcliffe actually have the power to defy their orders? I'm not sure he does. I mean, to be fair, I don't think the Glazers actually care enough about Manchester United to really fight Ratcliffe on anything. I feel like they might suggest things to him, but if Ratcliffe says no, I kind of doubt they're really going to put much effort into fighting him on it. It's like, oh, what was it here? You handle the club. We're just going to be over here, still raking in money from it. We don't care. Like I said, genius setup, honestly. The Ineos boss added the Glazers were happy for him to take charge, adding that probably sums it up. We're local and they're the other side of the pond. Yes, if you don't know, the Glazers are American and Ratcliffe is British. But is Ratcliffe from Manchester? I don't actually know. I don't know. If you know where Ratcliffe is from, tell me, I guess. That's a long way away to try and manage a football club as big and complex as Manchester United. We're here with feet on the ground. Yeah, the Glazers mostly live in the US. Actually, I'm pretty sure they own an NFL team. Don't remember which one, though. I don't watch a lot of American football. They, the Glazers, get a bad rap, but they are really nice people and they are really passionate about the club. Yeah, what was it? I'm sure the guy who took like 3 to 4 years to finally learn the offside rule is very passionate about the soccer club he owns. Damn. Ratcliffe has come in for criticism of his own after controversial cuts designed to drive down costs saw around 450 jobs axed and the removal of perks like subsidized staff lunches. Oh yeah. Yeah, ever since Ratcliffe took over, they have just been penny pinching like crazy at Manchester United. They've like fired a bunch of people like janitors and stuff like that. And I think they took away the handicap parking for a little while, but I'm pretty sure they put that back after people got so pissed about it because yeah, that is that is kind of a line you really shouldn't cross. It's like that's probably not worth it to cut that strip. The costs were just too high. There are some fantastic people at Manchester United, but there was also a level of mediocrity, and it had become bloated, he said. Is he calling the Glazers mediocrity? I mean, I doubt it, but it would be funny if he was. I got a lot of flack for the free lunches, but no one's ever given me a free lunch. The biggest correlation, like it or not, between results and any external factor is profitability. The more cash you have got, the better squad you can build. Aren't Manchester United still one of, if not the most profitable clubs in the world? Even though they're performing like shit, aren't they still super profitable? I don't know. It feels like you have everything you need to build a good squad, and the fact is you do have a good squad. It's just, I don't know, whenever any good players come there, they just start sucking. And whenever they leave, they just stop sucking for some reason. So a lot of what we have done in the first year is spend an awful lot of time putting the club on a sustainable, healthy footing. We're not seeing all the benefits of the restructuring that we've done in this set of financial results. United last month recorded record revenues of $666.5 million, for the last season, but a loss of 33 million for the financial year. Ooh, 666, the mark of the beast. God damn, maybe Manchester United really is cursed. And we were not in the Champions League. Those numbers will get better. Manchester United will become the most profitable football club in the world, in my view. And from that will stem, I hope, a long-term, sustainable, high level of football. Wait, so I don't know. I could have sworn I heard somewhere that Manchester United was like still one of the most profitable clubs in the world. I could have sworn I read that somewhere. I don't know. It might be true, and maybe he's just like talking out of his ass. Who knows? Man United players behind Amorim and his philosophy. Well, of course they're gonna publish it. Come on. Oh, okay. Hold on. Am I back? Okay, hold on. Am I back? Am I back? Okay, it looks like I am good. Well, sorry about that. It was a bit of a connection issue. All right, so let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah, what was it? This part. The Manchester United squad are behind Ruben Amorim and his philosophy despite an up and down start to the season, Sky Sports News understands. Yeah, it's like, if they know the coach is gonna be there for at least another 2 years, they're not gonna start shit-talking the coach. You know, unless... I mean, you know, some players might do that, but I don't think any players on the current Manchester United squad are the kind that would do that, if I'm being honest. So yeah, of course they're gonna back the coach. They know they know they're not getting rid of him. I don't know. Ratcliffe says he wants to give his first managerial appointment at Old Trafford 3 years to prove himself as a great coach, and that patience extends to the players. United's director of football, Jason Wilcox, has canvassed the opinion of some of the United players, as he would in normal conversations, around the training ground, and the consensus is that the squad are happy with Amorim. Of course, there is empathy and understanding that perhaps the likes of Kobe Mainu and Joshua Zirkzee, yeah, for example, may not be fully content with the lack of game time they have had so far this season. Yeah, I mean, you tell me. Oh man, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Kobe. I don't really get why Amorim really isn't using Kobe Mainu much. It's like, I know he said some stuff about like feeling like he's not ready, I guess, but like I don't know. He felt pretty ready like, you know, a year or two ago when he was playing just fine for in the Premier League, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. But for the most part, it seems clear as of now that the Portuguese has the backing of the group, some of whom, most notably Brian Umbuemo and Mason Mount, have said so publicly in recent interviews. Analysis. Is Ratcliffe's backing of Amorim absolute? Let's find out. Sky Sports News chief correspondent Kave Solhekol. I really hope I didn't mispronounce that name. We all know how football works. Before the next international break, Man United have got 4 games: Liverpool, Brighton, Forest, and Spurs. What happens if they lose all those games? Then they get then they get no points for the next month. There will be another international break. everybody will be talking about Ruben Amorim's future again. This is a very significant intervention by Jim Ratcliffe to come out and back Ruben Amorim. I personally think the backing is not 100%. If you actually look at the quotes, he's not coming out and saying come what may. Ruben Amorim is not leaving. He will be the head coach for the next 3 years. He's just saying Ruben needs to demonstrate he's a great coach over 3 years. We have to be patient. We have a long-term plan. It isn't a light switch. So what he's saying is like, I guess what he's trying to say is that like it's not that Ruben Amorim is definitely going to be head coach for the next 3 years no matter what. It seems like what he's saying is just that they want to give him more time, and depending on how he does over the next couple of years, he might get at least 3 years. Does that make any sense? I don't know. I feel like what they're trying to say is like, I guess if he bombs super badly over the next 3 years, then he's not going to then he might not get the full 3 years. But, they want to give him some more time to prove himself, I guess. I don't know if I'm saying this totally right. But yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like you get what I'm saying. It's not a light switch, but Manchester United are one of the biggest clubs in the world. I would say the only clubs that really compare to them on a worldwide basis are Real Madrid and Barcelona. What would journalists in Spain who cover Real Madrid or Barcelona be saying if Real Madrid finished 15th in the table? Oh god, could you imagine? That would be funny as hell. That would be great. What would they be saying if their new manager was bottom of the table when it came to results since he'd taken over? Oh shit, what was it? The Spanish media would have a freaking field day if that happened. Oh man, you wouldn't believe. Alright, that's the, appears to be the end of the article. Okay, so, to sum it up, what was it? Ruben Amorim's gonna be the coach of Manchester United for at least the next 3 years, and Man United fans are just gonna have to deal with it. Oh crap. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm kind of making fun of this decision right now, but like I said earlier, the way I see it, Manchester United's problems go a lot deeper than the players or the coach. It's like I feel like any changes at Manchester United need to be made from the top down because it's like how many coaches do I say Manchester United have gone through since, Sir Alex Ferguson? I'm pretty sure it's like 8 to 10, I think, at this point. It's like you've gone through manager after manager and things really haven't improved. They've only gotten worse. I feel like the problem might not necessarily be the managers. I feel like there's a lot of deeper issues that aren't getting solved, and I honestly don't think will be solved. Uh, But yeah, that's just what I think. We'll have to see how things go. So yeah, what was it? So yeah, that was Ruben Amorim. So yeah, that was Ruben Amorim. Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants to give under pressure Manchester United head coach 3 years to prove himself. From Sky Sports, I can't seem to find the author anywhere. So our next story revolves around a bit of a scandal that is currently rocking Malaysian soccer. It turns out the Malaysian national team was playing multiple players that are not was playing multiple players that are not eligible to play for Malaysia. Yes, this is sensationally damning Malaysian football. Sensationally damning Malaysian football rocked by naturalization scandal. This is, of course, from The Guardian, specifically John Durden. Oh, hey, bro, Dantes, what's up? Oh, shit. Man, you came in at the worst time. I just finished the Ruben Amorim story. It's like, yeah, what was it? Did you hear? Apparently, according to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, 3 more years of Amorim. Oh, crap. Oh, man, you. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, no, you didn't hear? What was it? They did an interview with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and he said that he wants to give Ruben Amorim 3 more years to prove himself, I guess. Or something along those lines. Or I think at least 3 more years is what he said. I don't know. He said something he wants to give Amorim at least around 3 years to prove himself. He's essentially saying that he's not gonna sack Amorim, at least anytime soon. That's pretty much the gist of what he said. Yeah, who knows? So yeah, what was it? That was what I was talking about before. The story I'm currently on, uh the Malaysia is currently being rocked by a massive scandal. Apparently, the Malaysian national soccer team was playing 7 players who are not eligible to play for Malaysia. They apparently forged documents for 7 players to play for them. All right, yeah. Let's see, what was it? Sensationally damning. Malaysian football rocked by nationalization scandal. Yeah, this is from The Guardian by Joe Durden. 7 national team players, including one from La Liga, have been suspended by FIFA over claims of cheating. Yeah. Let's see. Uh Oh crap, wow. This is great paint. It's like Malaysian supporter fully leans into the national team's Tiger nickname. Wow, what was it? They pay someone to do all this? I hope whoever did all this got paid. This looks pretty good. Crap. There hasn't been that much to smile about for Malaysian football fans in recent years. I was cut off weird. So there was real jubilation among the 60,000 home spectators upon the final whistle in Kuala Lumpur. What was it? The city is named Kuala? I know that's not actually how you spell koala, but like I'm I'm joking. On 10 June. This guy put on twice. I don't think he meant to do that. A 4-0 win over regional rivals Vietnam not just kept the Harimau Malaya, Malayan Tigers, on course for the 2027 Asian Cup, but well and truly confirmed that they were dining back at the top table in Southeast Asia. 4 months later, they are still the talk of the region, of 650 million people. But not in a good way. Crap. I love this, what was it? I love this ominous cliffhanger here. What was it? They're still the talk of the region, but not in a good way. Dun dun dun! Crap. The story starts as it does increasingly in association of Southeast Asian nations, Asian or ASEAN? I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Football these days with naturalization. Now, if you don't know, well, obviously, Brodantis, I know you know, but yeah, if you don't know, naturalization is essentially Well, in soccer, it's a term used to talk about players who are, eligible to play for their national team, or a player becoming eligible to play for their national team. Now, this has a few different requirements under FIFA's rules. You could either be born. You have to be a citizen of that country. Uh, you have to either have been born in that country or have grandparents who are from that country, or you could just have lived in that country for a certain number of years. There are a couple of different ways to get naturalized to a certain country, and it's like they don't all have to be together, but you don't have to meet all of the requirements I just said, but you do have to meet at least one of them. Plus the whole being a citizen thing. That's kind of a big part of it. All right. In January, the Crown Prince of Johor, Tunka Ismail Sultan Ibrahim. Damn. That's how you know he's royalty. He's got what was his super long name? I think that's true. I don't know. The owner of Johor Darul Tazim Football Club. Wait, hold on. Does the Crown Prince of Malaysia own a football team? That feels a bit unfair. I don't know much about Malaysian football other than that it's super violent, so I'm not sure how good this team is. But if they're backed by the frickin' Crown Prince, they must be pretty good. And former president of the Football Association of Malaysia, FAM, wrote on social media, "We have identified 6 to 7 heritage players and hope the Malaysian government could assist in the process of obtaining Malaysian passports in order for them to play in the Asian Cup 2027 qualifiers. Seven players from Argentina, Brazil, Spain, and Netherlands, with a grandparent from Malaysia, were naturalized." Yeah, see what I said? What was it? In order to become naturalized, one of the possible requirements. 6-7 is just stuck in my head by now. What was it? I haven't actually what was it? I haven't actually heard the song that's from. I know that's from like a TikTok or like a SoundCloud song. I haven't actually heard the song, but I have heard plenty of people saying 6-7. Yeah. Oh crap, where was I? Yeah. So yeah, like I said, what was it? Yeah, one of the possible requirements for being naturalized is having a grandparent from said country. Or a parent, obviously. All 7 played against Vietnam, 2 scored. The day after, we now know. FIFA received a complaint about their eligibility and started investigating. Ooh, what was it? Oh wow, so the investigation into this started months ago. Wow, and we're only now hearing about it. This stuff, what was it? This stuff can take time to uncover. On the 22nd of September, came sanctions. All 7 players were hit with a 12-month ban from all football, which came as a shock, not least to La Liga club Alaves, as their defender Facundo Garces had played in all 6 games of the current season before that. Wow, so one of the players was playing in La Liga. Now, it was for Alaves, but still a higher level than most Malaysian soccer players. Let's see. FIFA also fined FAM, that's the Malaysian Soccer Federation, as I said, $438,000. God damn. And that's I think that's pounds. 325,000 pounds. God damn. What was it? I can't imagine the Malaysian Soccer Federation is very wealthy, so that probably was a pretty big hit. Details weren't given, but the charges were that the Federation had submitted eligibility inquiries to FIFA, and in doing so, it used doctored documentation to be able to field the above players. Yeah, like I said, what was it? So apparently the Malaysian Federation, what was it, used faked documents to naturalize these players when the reality is none of them have any like Malaysian blood or have any ties to Malaysia. So yeah, what was it? This is serious. It's like I'm pretty sure that's not just forging documents like that. I'm pretty sure that's not just like against FIFA rules. I think that's legitimately illegal. So like, or at least I'm pretty sure it is. So, like, I might be wrong on this, but I think the Malaysian Soccer Federation might face, like, regular criminal charges. But like I said, I'm not sure about that, what was it? I might be wrong, let me know if I am. The reaction in Malaysia was split. Many were appalled, others took offense. Aren't isn't being appalled and taking offense kind of the same thing? Or I don't know. It's they're saying it like it's different. Well, we'll see. Suggesting the sanctions were a result of jealousy from rivals. The Crown Prince questioned the timing and said Malaysians should not bow down to those individuals who are worried about the rise of Harimau Malaya. Fight on! Be brave for being right. Okay, so they're doubling down. Okay, what was it? So yeah, it obviously Malaysia is fighting these claims and claiming that, what was it? This is just a result of jealousy from other, Southeast Asian countries. And they're, I guess, like, I don't know, making things up or something like that. Appalled is like shocked, taking offense is like you're angry about it or something. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I was confused because here they were using it like, I guess some people, they mean they were appalled at the fact that like the Malaysian Federation did this, and others were like not believing it, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, conspiracy theories blocking the rise of a team ranked number 123 in the world seem a bit far-fetched. It's like, well, okay, it's like, I guess no one no one really capable of like pulling this off, like, tricking FIFA into thinking the documents were faked would really be doing it for Malaysia. Yeah, I don't think that many really important people are scared of the rise of Malaysia when their best player comes from Alaves. So yeah, what was it? This being some kind of conspiracy really is, yeah, kind of a crazy idea. Yeah. Especially as Malaysia has more political clout than its regional rivals with a member on the FIFA Council. Oh, they got a member on the FIFA Council. All right, that is what was it? That's a very powerful thing in politics, more powerful than you might think. The General Secretary of the Asian Football Confederation, AFC, is also a role historically reserved for a Malaysian, as the organization is officially based in Kuala Lumpur. On Monday evening came FIFA's full 19-page report. It arrived as Malaysia slept and was some wake-up call. Oh shit, this came out like in the middle of the night for Malaysia. Goddamn. So oh man. Did you imagine, what was it, being a member of the Malaysian Football Federation and like You faked documents to get, players to play for your national team, and you got away with it for months, and then you wake up to the realization, to the news that FIFA figured you out. To the news that FIFA is, like, onto you, and they're sanctioning you. That probably would be the worst morning of my life if I were in that position. Possibly the worst morning ever, but Crap. All right. Let's see. Where was I? It arrived as Malaysia slept and was some wake-up call, described by a source close to the organization as sensationally damning. Oh, hey, that quote was in the title of the article. Nice. I always love when they say the name of the movie in the movie. Crap. The highlight is a table in the document consisting of 3 columns. The first has the name of a grandparent. The second is headed birthplace doctored document and listed states of Malaysia: Penang, Malacca, Johor, and Sarawak. I want to say that I hope I didn't mispronounce those names, but I feel like I definitely mispronounced those names, so I'm just not going to say it. That would be the worst morning. Second is the morning I saw 4-1 on my recent Barca match. Fuck. Crap. Yeah. I saw that match. Yeah. I'm just... crap. Yeah. Whatever. Where FAM's documents claimed they were born. The third column, headed Birthplace Original Documents, listed cities located in Spain, Argentina, Brazil, and the Netherlands, where FIFA said they were actually born, namely the same countries as their grandparents. Oh, wow. Alright, hold on. Ah, shit, what was it? They don't actually have it in this article? Oh, shit, I need to look it up. I really need to look it up. But I'll read through the rest of the article before I do that. You know what? No, I'll just look it up now. Hold on. See. Malaysian doctored birth certificates. Ah, crap. I knew I saw an image of it earlier. Let's... Hold on. Crap. I swear I saw it earlier. Crap. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, crap. I could... crap. I know I saw a document going over this earlier. I don't know. I can't find it now. I'll look for it later. Let's see. Presenting fraudulent documentation with the purpose of gaining eligibility to play for a national team constitutes pure and simple a form of cheating, which cannot in any way be condoned, stated FIFA's report. Such conduct erodes trust in the fairness of competition and jeopardizes the very essence of football as an activity founded on honesty and transparency. Yeah, yeah, what was it? Hold on. Yeah, it's like, well, is it? And like I said, not only is this like, against FIFA's rules, but I'm pretty sure like faking birth certificates and like documentation like this is like just like a regular crime in general. So, is like the Malaysian Federation gonna have to face criminal charges like normal? Because like they did fake documents from multiple people, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's like a normal crime, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, let me know if you know whether they're gonna face like any kind of normal lawsuit for this, like outside of FIFA. In response, FAM said it would launch an appeal. Claims that players acquired or were aware. Honesty and transparency with FIFA. That sounds not normal. Oh crap. Yeah, what was it? That is fair. It's like FIFA talking about, what was it? Such conduct erodes trust in the fairness of competition and jeopardizes the very essence of football as an activity founded on honesty and trust. It's like FIFA, you have eroded, people's trust in what was it, in major soccer, in like at the highest level at least, far more than this ever could, man. It's like what are you on about? Oh, goddamn. Let's see. Oh crap, where was I? Oh yeah. Claims that players acquired or were aware of fake documents are baseless, as no solid evidence has been presented so far. Read a statement. I mean, no, read a statement. The governing body adding that while there had been an administrative error when submitting documents, FAM would like to assert that the heritage players involved are legitimate Malaysian citizens. All right, well, what was it? Okay. I mean, yeah, you do have to be a citizen of a country in order to be eligible to play for them, under FIFA's rules, but there are other there are other requirements you have to meet other than that. So, that can be true, and they could still not be eligible to play for you. uh, what was it? Those could both be true. Let's see. FIFA has said it is confident in its ruling, and so it remains to be seen what evidence FAM produces, if any, as part of its appeal. Sources close to FIFA say they believe the appeal will be aimed more at lessening the sanctions rather than overturning the decisions. Yeah, it's like they know they're cooked. They know they're cooked. They can't get out of this. They're just gonna try and walk away with as little damage as possible. And there's more. Oh, yay, there's more. What more could you possibly do? The AFC has said it will wait until FIFA's action is resolved before involving its own disciplinary committee. The body runs the Asian Cup, and if Malaysia's guilt is confirmed, there is a possibility of them not being at the 2027 tournament. Oh yeah, what was it? They could, yeah, what was it? If this ends up going through, they could get banned. Are they also gonna get banned from the World Cup too, though? It's like they're saying they can get banned from the Asian Cup in 2027, but can they also get banned from the World Cup then? Hmm. I don't know. It doesn't look like it says anything. I don't know. I'll have to look it up later to see if there is. Let's see. The players should try to make the most of Thursday's qualifier against Laos, as there may not be many competitive games in their near future. Oh, that's great. Yeah, what was it? Enjoy playing soccer while you still can, boys, because you might not be playing it for long. Crap. Uh at some level, I do kind of feel bad for the players. Well, what was it? They also had to be involved in this, so I don't feel too bad for them, obviously, but, I can understand just wanting to play at the international level and, not being good enough to play for, the countries you are eligible for, like Spain, Brazil, and Argentina. So, uh, so yeah, I do feel a little bad, but like I said, at the same time, they were involved in this. Like they had to have known the documentation was, forged. So it's like, yeah, yeah, I do feel a little bad for them, but at the same time, there's a limit. Like they were in on this too. Yeah. After the full FIFA report was released, the reaction at home was fierce, not least because for people in most walks of life. Oh, are you? Okay. Wait, hold on. Let's see, am I back? Let's see. Let's see. Alright, looks like I'm back. We're good? Alright, that's good. Alright, so let's see, where was I? Alright. After the full FIFA report was released, the reaction at home was fierce, not least because, for people in most walks of life, acquiring Malaysian citizenship is a long and frustrating process. Huh. I didn't know that. I didn't think it would be that hard to become a Malaysian citizen. I'll have to look up Malaysian citizenship process to see what it's like. As the writer Haresh Diol put it, I really hope I didn't pronounce that guy's name wrong. When calling for heads to roll, this fiasco goes. I don't know. Yep. Yeah. Why Malaysia of all countries, though? I don't know. Maybe I don't really know. What what happens in Malaysia? I think they have a lot of oil, but I'm not sure if that. Yeah, I don't know. Some countries are just weird. Let's see. This fiasco goes beyond fam and football. It strikes at the nation's integrity. It is a national embarrassment. Yeah, what was it? Well, yeah, I've heard some stuff about like Malaysian football. It's like they wait. Am I thinking of Malaysia or yeah. But yeah, what was it? For a lot of for a lot of countries, the national soccer team is very important and like stuff like this, it kind of does go beyond soccer because like this stuff reflects on the whole country. It's like it's the national team. This stuff reflects on the whole country. It's like they say, it's a national embarrassment. It's something the yeah, it's something the country is going to be known for, at least in the soccer world and the periphery for a while. It certainly does not do any favors for a country that has, for a long time, been known more in football terms for match fixing and betting syndicates than anything on the pitch. For a while, it looked as if that was going to change. Oh shit. Oh crap. I don't really know much about Malaysian soccer. I don't really know much about, Southeast Asian soccer in general. What was it? The most I know about is like the little I've seen from like what was it, Maxwell videos? Yeah, what was it? I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know Malaysia had a history of match fixing. That's crazy. And betting syndicates? Oh damn. Oh, this sounds interesting. Maybe I should look in a bit more into Malaysian football after this, just see what it's like. So yeah, what was it? I mean, this is this is kind of crazy. I mean, what was it? I mean, naturalization scandals, they happen sometimes, but like 7 national team players, that is crazy. Oh, it's like, what was it? That's half a. It's like, that's like a third of a team. Is that math right? A third of a team? Yeah, about that. Yeah, that's about a third of a full team. It's like, god damn. Crap. I don't know, what was it? This is crazy. It's like, I don't know. I've heard, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I don't really know much about Malaysian soccer. Or at least I didn't before this. You know, what was it? I might look into it later. See what's interesting. Right. But yeah, what was it? This stuff happens. Uh, yeah. Unfortunately, it will likely continue to happen because stuff like that happens. What am I saying? But yeah. Let's see. All right. Yeah, the last news story I wanted to talk about tonight, well, isn't exactly a news story. What was it? It's a story talking about Leicester City's Premier League win all the way back in 2016. Yes, what was it? What was it? Was it 2016? Yeah, I think it was 2016. Yeah. What was it? This is from ESPN. Leicester City's Premier League triumph 10 years ago. That is right. Leicester won the Premier League 10 years ago. Oh, crap. Time flies. Time really flies. Yeah. 2016. Almost 10 years. Let's see. This is by Bill Connolly and Tom Hamilton. So yeah, what was it? It's a story I thought was interesting. What was it? The Leicester City stuff. I remember that. That was really crazy. It's like everybody was talking about it. Leicester City of all teams winning the Premier League. It's something that you don't see every day, and it's something you're probably not gonna see again. So yeah, what was it? It essentially goes over. All right, let's just get into the article and see what it goes over. I shouldn't talk about. All right. Gathered around the TV at Jamie Vardy's house in Melton Mowbray, all Christian Fuchs and his teammates could do was watch. It was May of 2016, and after 36 matches, Leicester City's unlikely heroes were finally admitting to themselves they might achieve the unthinkable, winning the Premier League. They needed nearest challengers Tottenham Hotspur to draw or lose to Chelsea for them to seal the title. I mean, they had N'Golo Kante. It's basically an instant. Yeah, no, what was it? Yeah, he was going pretty crazy. He was going crazy as what was it, Leicester City days. That was good. Yeah. I described it back then as the toughest 90 minutes I've never played because you know what's on the line. Fuchs Leicester's starting left back tells ESPN. As the full-time whistle went at Stamford Bridge, confirming Spurs' 2-2 draw, pandemonium ensued. I always like the word pandemonium. It always sounded really cool to me. I saw people being dragged around the floor by their feet, by their arms, people screaming, people crying. Yeah, what was it? I remember some of these videos. I remember seeing videos of like people's reactions to this shit. People were going crazy. And for good reason. It's like no one saw this coming. No one could have predicted this. At the beginning of the season, at least. Let's see. Vardy's TV was smashed, and crates of beer were either being flung into the air or consumed at rapid rates. Oh, goddamn. The reality of what Leicester had achieved, winning the league despite entering the season as 5,000 to 1 outsiders, started to dawn on them. Crap. Wow, 5,000 to 1. Goddamn. Are there any stories about, I don't know. I know there has to have That's light for Jamie Vardy. Oh, come on. That's just that's just great. Oh man. But yeah, what was it? Was there anyone that I could have sworn I read somewhere someone like actually made this bet and like got super rich off of it. At least I'm pretty sure I read that happened somewhere. Like someone actually bet on Leicester City winning the Premier League and got rich. Yeah, I don't know. I know at least one person had to have made that bet. Listen. All right. For some players, it was a moment of validation. Danny Simpson, their starting right back, left the celebrations soon after the whistle. He went outside into a quiet corner of Vardy's vast garden and cried. You go through so much in football, and so much rejection, whether it's being told you're too small, clubs not wanting you, Simpson said. You're constantly thinking you're not good enough. It was just a relief, a weight off my shoulders. Damn. I was on my own. Vards has a massive garden, so he probably couldn't see me. But everyone was ringing friends and family, celebrating with each other. It was a wonderful moment. If someone did, that person must have ultimate delusion or ultimate football knowledge. Yeah, no, what was it? You gotta either be really crazy or really dumb to make a bet like that. And I don't know. I feel I don't know. I feel like at least one person had to have made that bet. I'll look it up later. I'll see. 10 years later, however, each player remembers that season differently. Robert Huth, retired in 2019, says he gives the win little thought. Second choice veteran goalkeeper Mart Schwarzer didn't play a minute and doesn't regard himself as a Premier League winner. Oh, that's great. What was it? Yeah, imagine being on imagine being on a Premier League winning team, but you yourself didn't actually play a single minute. God damn. That depending on the kind of person you are, that either must feel really good or really awful. Depending on, what kind of person you are. Right. Fuchs smiles as he remembers the camaraderie in the team and the pizza nights where the dough spent more time in the air than on the table. Captain Wes Morgan's elder son, Rio, is more concerned with Leicester City's championship existence these days than memories of his dad lifting the coveted Premier League trophy. Yeah, and now we're getting to the fall. I'm not sure it was a fairy tale, but it was unbelievable. One of the most astonishing achievements in the game, Morgan says. It was footballing non-fiction fiction. Yeah. It all raises the question, for those protagonists at the forefront of this triumph, nearly a decade on, how do they reflect on the most unlikely success in English top-flight history? Was it everything they thought it would be? Well, it depends on who you talk to. Just don't say the words fairy tale. God damn. Yeah, what was it? It's like, yeah, what was it? Obviously, winning the Premier League was crazy, as Leicester City. Yeah, no one saw that coming, but it probably does, it probably does sour things a bit, knowing that, things didn't knowing that they weren't really able to continue on that trajectory, knowing things kind of well, not kind of, really went downhill from there. Yeah. I can't even imagine. Achieving the unthinkable. The Leicester team that started the 2015-16 season had already completed one miracle. The previous season, they were bottom of the league mid-April, but won 7 of their remaining 9 matches to survive. Despite this comeback, manager Nigel Pearson was unceremoniously fired, with Claudio Ranieri appointed as his replacement. Where's God, where's Claudio Ranieri now? He's in Serie A, right? I can't remember what team he's coaching, but I don't think it's one of the big teams in Serie A. I think it's a yeah, I think it's a mid-table team in Serie A. Oh, I'll look it up later. Sorry, drink some water. They made 9 signings in the summer, including Japanese forward Okazaki from Mainz, and unknown French midfielder N'Golo Kante. Hey, yeah! Who are we talking about? From League 2. God damn. N'Golo Kante was playing in freaking League 2 before he joined Leicester City. That's crazy. Who had endured 2 injury-disrupted seasons, arrived on a permanent deal from Stoke, having spent 6 months on loan in 2014-15, and Fuchs was brought in from Schalke. The Foxes went under the radar at the start of the season, losing just one of their first 9 matches. But things clicked once Ranieri started Simpson and Fuchs at fullback. Between December 29th and February 6th, they didn't concede a goal in the Premier League and climbed to the top of the tree. Yes. Yeah, he was invisible until stats were actually looked at. Yeah. But yeah, it was crazy. Between December and February, they did not let in a single goal. That is impressive. Players generally ignore the outside talk of an unlikely title, but looking back, there were 2 matches where they started to dream. The first was a 2-0 win over Liverpool on February 2nd, remembered for that long-range Jamie Vardy goal, so often the snapshot highlight used to immortalize that season. I was directly behind him and remember shouting at him, "Why are you shooting?" Okazaki said, and then it flew in. I was like, whoa. Yeah, what was it? Yeah, that was crap. Did I watch that match live? Not sure I did. I might have been at school at the time. But yeah, what was it? That was a crazy match. Yeah, yeah, I think I've seen what was it? This Jamie Vardy shot. Like, yeah, yeah. What was it? The clips of this Jamie Vardy shot were freaking all over the place at the time. I saw that a lot for a while. But it was the next match on February 6th in which they outplayed Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. That stays in their minds even more. We were down 1-0, ended up winning 3-1, and blew them off the park at the Etihad, Schwarzer says. I think then we knew we were the real deal. Yeah, what was it? Yeah, what was it? That was back when beating Manchester United when beating Manchester City meant something. Yeah. From there to the end of the season, they kept grinding out results. A run including 4 back-to-back 1-0 victories. And the win over Southampton on April 3rd secured a top 4 finish. We're in the Champions League, dilly ding dilly dong, Ranieri said. Dilly ding dilly dong, what the hell? I don't remember that. On May 2nd, Tottenham drew 2-2 at Stamford Bridge and Leicester were crowned champions. I knew there was a chance that very moment, but why should freaking Leicester win the Premier League? It doesn't make sense, Fuchs said. At the start of the season, Leicester's were favorites for relegation. 9 months later, they were celebrating their first top-flight title in their 132-year history. Holy crap. The team has been around for 132 years, and they've won one title. And they've won one top flight title. That is crazy. I don't know. Yeah, what was it? It always feels kind of weird. What was it? I don't know why. It's like it's crazy to think that like some of these teams have legitimately been around for over 100 years. What was it? Soccer has existed for a very long time, and some of these teams have been around almost since its conception, like over 100 years ago. It is crazy to think about stuff like that. Damn, I don't know. How many things that were created, over 100 years ago are really still around nowadays? Well, hmm. I'm honestly not sure. That number might be bigger than I'm thinking it is. But yeah, I don't know. This is still, impressive. Ultimately finishing ultimately finishing 10 points ahead of second place Arsenal. Yeah. Goddamn. The team partied at Vardy's. Eh, I like what they did. I see what he did there. Okazaki laughs as he says that evening was the most he'd ever drunk, and was stunned when at brunch the following day the celebrations continued with even more alcohol. God damn. They were they were really celebrating. Wow. It was an emotional moment, 100%. You've been grinding it out for so long in your career, and it all seemed hopeless. And then this happens. My goal was just to play one game in the Premier League, Morgan says. I spent 3 years in League One, and most of my career up to kind of 30 years in the Championship. Oh, Vardy was probably snorting coke in the bathroom. Oh wait, that's Maradona. Nah. Oh goddamn. So to play one match was amazing, but to do this, well, it's just unbelievable. Damn. The outside perception was that it was a sporting miracle. Everyone calls it the fairy tale, but if you look at all the players, we're all good players, Huth says. Sometimes I get annoyed because people say we're all misfits, but we had good careers. We had titles, international caps. It wasn't a fluke. Eh, uh, mm. I mean, I kind of understand what he's saying, but like, I mean, yeah, a lot of those players had decent careers up until that point, but not the kind of stuff you expect at a Premier League winners. And what was it? Leicester City obviously isn't exactly, doesn't exactly have a history of being the top, of being, what was it? What was it? Title contenders. So, yeah, I don't know. Others, though, aren't too sure. I mean, it's iconic and will never be repeated, Schwarzer says. I don't think anyone really saw our group as potential Premier League winners. I think it is a fairy tale. I really do. Damn. The players point to different reasons they won the league. On the field, simplicity was king. Our tactics were very simple, Fuchs says. I'm very surprised that nobody figured it out. Tactics were simple as protect the castle, which was our box, which was the goal. And then when you have the ball, find Jamie Vardy. They had few injuries. The gods were on our side with injuries, Morgan says. Yeah. Ranieri didn't have a lot of I think it all fell off when Conte left for Chelsea. Yeah, Yeah, I feel like that was kind of Yeah, I feel like that was kind of the moment things really went to shit. It's like yeah, I feel like after the Premier League win, Leicester was kind of on a general downward trajectory from there. But yeah, I do think Conte leaving probably was a big part of it. Ranieri didn't have a lot of tactics, Okazaki adds. It was defending, then counterattacking. And he always said to me in compact defense, don't take risks. If you're under pressure, play the long ball. There was togetherness. No one really sort of stood out in terms of, I want to do this, I want to do it this way, I've got an ego. There were no assholes, Hughes says. Crap. Fuchs adds, "Look, we were a bunch of rejects. You can compare it with an old Mercedes model that, it's still nice to look at, but it's not really up to par anymore. My goal was to go to England, and I ended up at Leicester. That's the background of the group. And knowing this, and everybody knowing where they come from, and knowing we may just have a couple more seasons playing at the highest level, bonded us all. Then there were the mid-season perks to keep the team motivated. The owner would say, 'If you win the next 3 or 4 matches, I'll take you all to the casino, and we'll all have a great night,' Morgan said. Just little things like that gave us an extra 5%. Crap. What was it? Maybe that's how Ratcliffe turns Manchester United around. He tells Amorim and all the players, hey, if you win the next couple of matches, I'll take you down to a night at the casino. We'll we'll all go gamble." Oh, crap. I don't know. Maybe that's the secret to turning Man U around. Crap. Who knows? In August 2016, Ogre owner and chairman Viche, oh god, Shivadhanaprabha surprised the 19 Premier League winners still at the club with Protonic Blue BMW ISs. Holy crap. While most players have gone on to sell the cars, damn. Man, what was it? Damn, what was it? Man, if I got given a car for winning the Premier League, I wouldn't sell it for anything. Unless I was flat broke, but, in most situations, I wouldn't. I don't know if you've ever been in one, but they're not the easiest to get in and out of, Morgan says. Oh. Oh, okay, I actually didn't know that. Goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel. Wait. Kasper Schmeichel? Isn't there another famous goalkeeper? What's his name? Peter Schmeichel? Are they related? Or am I thinking of someone else? I don't know. What was it? Well, Kasper Schmeichel has kept his. So has Okazaki. I guess this is all of them. What was it? Yeah, they look like pretty nice cars. Yet, with success comes inevitable interest. And barely weeks after the title was confirmed, the team started to be picked apart, with Conte joining Chelsea, the catalyst. On the field, Leicester came back to earth. 9 months after they won the league, they were 1 point above the relegation zone, and Ranieri was sacked. Yeah, what was it? I gotta admit, this was kind of sad to watch. It's like, what was it? Watching, this, this fairy tale, story of Leicester City of all teams, coming back from almost getting relegated to, winning the Premier League next season was amazing to watch. But then watching that team kind of fall apart the next season and, what was it? Never really make it back to those heights again was honestly kind of sad. It was honestly kind of sad to watch. If Conte there stayed, maybe, I don't know. I mean, we say that, but, what was it? Leicester City, I mean, if we're being realistic, Leicester City probably wasn't, even after winning the Premier League and making it to the championship, they probably weren't really in much of a position to keep a lot of the players that they ended up selling, what was it? Bigger clubs come in with, more money than you've ever been offered for a player. You're what was it? You're usually gonna take the deal. So, yeah, keeping Conte, keeping Conte and a couple others, probably could have helped them do better. But I don't know. They just might not have been able to do so. I don't know. That's just kind of the reality of being a smaller team, you know? You have a you have a good season with a lot of standout players, you're gonna get picked apart by the traditional giants. The same thing happened with Girona. Oh crap. How is Girona doing right now? I haven't checked in on them in forever. I'll look it up later. Right. Assistant Craig Shakespeare. Holy shit. No way his name is frickin' Shakespeare. Oh, come on. Terrible? Yeah, I thought so. But yeah, oh god, no way this guy's name is Shakespeare. What the hell? Do you think they're related? Took charge. And Leicester's 2016-17 Champions League adventure finished in the quarterfinals against Atletico Madrid. Oh, well, they didn't make it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I guess that's not bad. That was the moment the dream kind of died. Or, I guess it was kind of bad. Simpson said. We were still doing the unexpected and doing things people couldn't believe we were capable of. But when that finished, we were back to normality. They'd finished the season in 12th place, and that summer, starting midfielder Danny Drinkwater, it will forever. Oh my god. I still refuse to believe there's a guy named Danny Drinkwater. That is just I don't even know how you get a name like that. Goddamn. Signed for Chelsea. The outstanding Riyad Mahrez left in 2018 for Manchester City. Then in October of 2018, Leicester City were in mourning after the death of owner Sherrod Shrivadhanapabra and 4 others in a helicopter crash outside the King Power Stadium. Holy crap. Oh, damn. I forgot the owner freaking died. Damn, that's sad. I guess, what was it? Yeah, what was it? Rest in peace. I look at it, my time with him, and he just brought so much to my life, Youth says. I think the unique thing about Leicester was how close we were to each other, Morgan says. So the owner, it really hurt us and hit us deep when his tragedy happened. I don't know how you get pregnant for 9 months and the only good middle name is Drinkwater. No, that's it. Wait, is Drinkwater his middle name? I thought it was his family name. Hold on. Yeah, I need to look this up right now. Hold on. Yeah, no, what was it? Danny Drinkwater's full name is Daniel Noel Drinkwater. Yeah, no, Drinkwater's not his middle name. It's straight up his family name. I don't even know how that happens. Damn. Though the club experienced a bit of a revival under Brendan Rodgers, that makes it even worse. Yeah, no, that's worse. Yeah, that is crazy. I don't know how that happens. But yeah. Though the club experienced a bit of a revival under Brendan Rodgers, who led them to an FA Cup triumph in 2021. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember there was some hype around this. Some people thought maybe they were gonna make a comeback. But they were relegated to the championship in 23 and 25, earning promotion in between. Yep, what was it? Classic yo-yoing. Some of the 2016 group met again for Vardy's final match in a Leicester shirt on May 18th against Ipswich Town. Vardy was the last one of the Premier League winners standing, with Mark Albright having retired in 2024, and in July, the Leicester City Masters team, featuring Morgan, Simpson, Youth, Drinkwater, and Albright, won the Soccer 7 Series Master Cup competition in Singapore. We got butterflies before the finals, Simpson says, but it was so nice to spend time with everyone again. When we won the tournament, we had a bit of a joke about how we used to be good at winning and lifting trophies. But whole team reunions seldom happen. They did meet when Shakespeare died in August of 24, after being diagnosed with cancer. Damn. It's one of those sad things, but it's normally weddings, birthdays, or funerals where we catch up. Morgan says, "It's sad. You spend so much time together, working hard, and sweating blood and tears for each other. But that's how it goes, I guess." Shockey was a special man, Simpson said. When I first got to Leicester in 2014, I wasn't in the team, and Shockey was the guy who kept us on the straight and narrow. He understood me and would always be checking in. He was a top man, also a great coach. Damn. With 10 seasons worth of water under the bridge, the players remember that glorious season differently. Schwarzer was an unused sub 37 times that season in the league. "I don't consider myself a Premier League winner," Schwarzer says. "I had one of the best seats in the house, and I saw it, felt it, and lived it. But in terms of the league, I don't feel remotely a Premier League winner. I just feel very privileged to have been there." Damn. Man, that's gotta be crazy. Winning the Premier League, but just kind of sitting there watching it as it all happened. Man. Youth retired in January 2019 after persistent foot and ankle injuries. "I don't have anything in my house that reminds me of football," Youth says. "I've got 2 kids, I've got a wife, and that's just more important to me than having a shirt up or my medal. Now that I'm retired, the Premier League win really doesn't really matter." That makes sense. At the time, it was amazing in terms of my life. Doesn't really have an impact on you. "I don't want to sound miserable, but it's just not as good as you imagine it will be." Damn. Yeah, I guess sometimes, I guess I do kind of understand this. Sometimes, some people reach their dream or what was their goal or reach their dream, and sometimes it doesn't always turn out to be, exactly what you wanted it to be or exactly how you wanted it to be. Yeah, sometimes stuff like that happens. Okazaki is still heavily involved with the sport. He is co-founder of Basara Mines, a team in the 6th division of Germany focused on providing a pathway for Japanese players. "We started 10 years ago and are now in the 6th division," he says. "We try to give the Japan players a pyramid and opportunity. They have a great environment here. We help the players with their technical side, tactics side, and mental side. The realistic goal is to get promoted to the 4th division." Oh wow, sounds cool. "The Premier League was a dream," he adds. "People, when they see me, say, 'You are a Leicester legend,' and that makes me proud. In retirement, I understand it more. But look, I forget my career now. I look forward, and my dream is with Basara Mines. Schwarzer works in the media, while Morgan is a scout for Nottingham Forest. Simpson retired in July 24, but plays football with Drinkwater and a bunch of ex-Premier League pros in a 10-a-side in Manchester on Tuesdays. Whenever someone retires, we get them in the WhatsApp group," Simpson says. "He remains close with Drinkwater. Drinks is living some life," he laughs. uh, it's good to see. Well, it's good to hear some of these guys are still doing well. Fuchs is a coach at Charlotte FC. There was a time when he was toying with the idea of pursuing a career as an NFL kicker. Wow. Needless to say, those dreams are gone. Wow. Charlotte FC head coach Dean Smiths asked me about that. Didn't you want to be a kicker at some point? I'm like, yeah, but now I'm your assistant coach. Wow. I have no time unless you give me some days off on the weekend when they are playing. He still looks fondly back on the 2015-16 squad. I think everybody that was in that team has sort of fulfillment, he says. You realize it didn't come from nowhere, like Huthy said. It doesn't just happen. That would probably be not that bad. Yeah, that'd probably be cool. Those who got a medal were also given a small replica Premier League trophy. Oh yeah, what was it? Isn't that usually standard to give people like replica trophies just so they have something to put in their case? I could have sworn it was. Schwarzer shows his trophy to an interested visitor. Okazaki has his in his Basara office, but wants to transfer it all someday to his dream museum that he'll open with Japan teammates Shinji Kagawa and Tanashi Inoue. His medal and trophy will sit alongside the BMW. Oh yeah, he still has his BMW. Damn. Morgan has a cabinet dedicated to Lester in a small trophy room in his house. Youth's trophy is still unopened in the box, and his medal is in a safe deposit box. Somewhere. Oh, damn. He really doesn't want it getting stolen. Shinji Okazaki. Okay. Duke's medal hangs by his dining table, along with a replica of the FA Cup he won in 21. I told my kids we need to add a couple of medals there, Duke says. And for Simpson, both trophy and medal get regular outings. They're reminders of the graft it took to achieve his dreams back in 2016. My trophy's on display and my medals are in the safe, Simpson said. But sometimes when I get home from a few drinks, I put the medal on just to remind myself what it felt like. Damn. I felt like I had proved something to people, maybe even to myself. I could achieve something. I wish I could go back to it and relive it again. Damn. How Leicester won the Premier League. And could it ever happen again? Alright, hold on. If you're hoping to see another club pull a Leicester anytime soon, I have some good and bad news for you. The bad news is, it's terribly unlikely because Leicester pulling a Leicester was so unlikely. Yeah, no one saw this coming. So many things had to go just right. The good news, however... How good do you think Bruno Fernandes would do outside United? That's a good question. I mean, what was it? He was doing pretty well in Portugal, and he did have a pretty good first season with United. If if what was it? Examples like obviously Anthony and what was it? Obviously like Anthony and them are to be followed, then I'd say he'd probably do pretty good outside of United. Where exactly he would go, I'm not really sure. I don't know. Maybe La Liga? I feel like he could do pretty good in La Liga with like hmm. Uh, hmm. I don't know. I feel like he'd do pretty good outside United. It seems like players tend to improve a lot when they leave United. McTominay, yeah, sorry, crap, forgot for a second. Yeah, if examples like Anthony or McTominay are to be, are anything to learn from, then yeah, I imagine he'd probably do pretty good outside of United. Yeah. Oh, Fernandez at Barca. That would be interesting. That would be fun to see. Or yeah, I don't know. That'd be interesting. Crap. Hmm. It's getting kind of late, and my throat's been kind of scratchy tonight, so I think I might end things here if I'm being. Yeah, I think I might end things here. I don't know why my throat has been so scratchy tonight. Yeah, I kind of had a problem with this when I started streaming, but like, I don't know. I felt like it. I don't know. It did get better after a little while, but yeah, I don't know why my throat's feeling so weird tonight. But yeah, what was it? Yeah, I think I'm gonna end things here for tonight. Yeah, I'll stream. What was it? Yeah, I'll stream again on Friday. What was it? My yeah, do some more React stuff, and then I want to try to get back to streaming on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday consistently again. I haven't really done that in a while. But yeah, what was it? So yeah, this is it for tonight. Hope to see you. Hope to see you again, man. Crap. All right.